Hey, my name is Bill Ferriter. It's time for another 2-minute team tip. Listen, if you're working in a school that functions as a PLC at work building, you're likely to hear the phrase, we're trying to move from a focus on teaching to a focus on learning. And I remember the first time I heard that as a classroom teacher, I wasn't quite sure what it meant, right? Like, after all, I'm a teacher. You hired me to teach things to kids. Well, here's what we mean when we say let's move from a focus on teaching to a focus on learning. What we're specifically acknowledging in that phrase is that it's impossible to ensure that all students master everything in our required curriculum. We can't guarantee that every student learns everything in the state standards documents that you are given. Why? Because in the vast majority of states, the state standards docs are chock-a-block full of ideas. There's lots of things in those state standards that I'm not even sure we can get through everything in the course of an individual year. Really and truly, like when I look back on my 29-year teaching career, sometimes I wonder, did I even teach everything in the required curriculum? Just because of how much content is jammed in there, right? So what we're arguing in the PLC at work process is let's quit thinking about all the things we're supposed to teach kids, and let's start thinking about all of the things we're going to guarantee that a student learns during the year that they spend in our classroom. Now let's be real, those aren't the exact same things. There are things in your curriculum in the state standards docs that really aren't all that essential. Rick DeFore used to call this years ago organized abandonment, and I really love that phrase. What it suggests is that a team of teachers work together to look at their curriculum and decide of all of the things that we could teach students this year, let's start prioritizing the things that are the most essential, and let's roll up our professional sleeves and figure out a way to get every student to learn those essential outcomes. Instead of spending our collaborative time thinking about the ways that we can teach everything in our required curriculum, let's identify priorities and then invest that same collaborative time in figuring out a way to get every student to learn the small handful of priorities that we've identified as a collaborative team as essential for a student to learn at a higher level. Does that make sense to you? Sure, we're going to teach most of the things that are in our required curriculum, but in the end, the more important question is, what are we going to guarantee that every student learns? And that's what's represented in the phrase, shifting from a focus on teaching to a focus on learning. All right, don't forget to hit like or subscribe in case you're interested in watching further videos. And if you have a question, reach out. Be happy to help.